Where do I start? Where do I start? Because at this point, there's no need. Come on. PSG 3, Chelsea 0, and the match is still going. But I just had enough. I can't sit there and pretend like I'm enjoying the football. There's anything that's going to change anytime soon. I cannot pretend to show my positiveness. I've been positive. I just can't. Like, to what extent are we going to say this project is a fuck up? To what point are we going to say we have had enough of these owners? Like, I'm not one to just criticize just because. I'm not one to follow these agenda merchants. I'm not one to follow the media. I like to take my time before I can come out here and scream. Now, for the past, I would say 4 years, if not three, maybe 3 years, 4 years. I don't even remember how long these owners have been our owners since Roman Abramovich left. But I think it's over 3 years now. And nowhere near did I come and criticize them as hard as I'm going to do now. Because you always have to give a chance, right? Now, I'm just going to say this before I get into the actual point that I need to make today. Not much, but just one point. I just want to say, if you think this is LIAM ROSENOIR'S fault, then you must not know football. You must not know what you're talking about. You must not know the history of Chelsea. If you think this is LIAM ROSENOIR'S fault, now I'm not calling him a perfect coach. No, he's not. He's a young coach, talented, and I think he's still learning on the job, which is fine. In the history of Chelsea Football Club, we've never had a perfect coach. In the history of football, there's never been a perfect coach. There have been good and great coaches. Pep Guardiola ain't perfect. Ancelotti ain't perfect. Mourinho, Conte, they ain't perfect. But they've won things. So I'm not looking for perfection from LIAM ROSENOIR. And I'm not saying he is perfect. And I'm not defending him in every aspect of his decision making. I'm not. He has made mistakes, and I have called them out. So many times I've called LIAM ROSENOIR'S mistakes, whether it's the starting lineup, it's the philosophy of football, the tactical, the systems. I've called him out. But today, I cannot keep blaming the man for something that he doesn't have control over. Thomas Tuchel was not the problem. Graham Potter, I don't think he was a good coach, and I don't think he should have gotten the Chelsea job, but he was never the problem. Then we went to Pochettino. I never liked Pochettino. I never thought we should have hired him in the first place, but he was never the problem. Were they perfect? No. They were never the problem. Enzo Maresca. I've called Enzo Maresca in so many different games where I thought maybe you could have done better in terms of his lineup, his style of play, the system, whatever you want to call it. But he was never the problem. LIAM ROSENOIR now. Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't want him to become a Chelsea coach because they thought, he doesn't deserve the job. He didn't deserve the job. But they look at his resume and they're like, okay, what has he done to deserve the Chelsea job? And which is true to some degree. Because in the history of Chelsea, LIAM ROSENOIR could have never gotten a job if this was Roman Abramovich. That would have never happened. So yeah, those feelings are validated. Yeah, people that thought LIAM ROSENOIR never deserved the Chelsea job, they're right. But wake the fuck up. This is no longer Roman Abramovich. This is not the club that holds standards no more. We don't hold standards anymore. Anybody can get it. Anyone can get it. I can go and coach Chelsea. What do I need to do? Fuck nothing. So yes, In the standards and history of Chelsea, Liam Rosinho should have never gotten the job in the first place. So as Enzo Maresca, so as Pochettino, so as Graham Potter. These people should have never been in charge of Chelsea in the first fucking place. But these people, as much as they shouldn't have been the Chelsea coaches, it's not their fucking problem. And I don't know how many times I gotta say this. It's not their problem. Now, let's call out the actual problem at Chelsea Football Club. That Egbali, that blue core, that's the fucking problem. And our attention should go there. And this past week, right, I didn't make a video about this because I thought it was fucking useless. There was no point. Today was the day I was waiting for me to say everything that I'm going to say. But this past week, I've been seeing in the media people talking about the Chelsea had or the referee this is a distraction. It's a distraction to the actual problem. People are concerned about a fucking huddle in the center circle. Who cares? I've been seeing TalkSport, Sky Sports, every YouTuber out there talking about the fucking huddle. Who cares about a huddle? You can do a huddle if you want to do a huddle. No, I don't care. The problem is our owners. Let's not get distracted from the actual point. Let's not run away from the actual problem here and talking about fucking things that don't or shouldn't matter. Our owners are the problem. Yeah, people bash Maresca last season. Oh, don't play this. Why are you playing this player? Why are you playing this? Maresca asked for fucking centre back. In pre-season, Levi Colwill got injured. There was enough time to go get us a centre back. But no, what they did, they went and get Buonanotte and fucking Garnacho. You telling me I'm supposed to blame the coach? If you are the coach and you have Chalobah, you have Fofana, you have Tosin, you have Badiashile, and you ask for centre back because one of your good centre backs, decent centre back in Liverpool, got injured in the fucking pre-season, and then you go give me fucking Garnacho and Buonanotte. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, let's be honest here. Liam is not the problem. Maresca was not the problem. Graham Potter, Pochettino, they were never the problem. The problem are the owners. We needed a centre back in the summer. We fucking got Garnacho. We needed another centre back. We fucking got Buonanotte. Now I'm thinking, all right, well, you've got players that are, obviously that belong to Chelsea Football Club, right? So maybe you want to give them time to see how they go about their business up until we go to January transfer window. We go to January transfer window, you think, all right, Gay is available. Couple players are available. Good centre backs. But no, you don't go for Gay. Why? Because you don't want to pay the money. When has money ever become the goal? Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not that stupid to not think that this is a business. Chelsea Football Club is a business. They need to make money. They've invested money, billions of dollars to make money. And I get that. But the best way to make money in football is to fucking win. That's how you make money. Yes, transfers makes you money, but you get a fucking win. That's how you get the prize money. That's how you get sponsorship. That's how you sell and buy players. That's how you make money. But no, their focus is we don't want to pay too much money to Mark Gay, so we're not gonna get him. Every other experienced centre back out there, they need to be paid big buck. But no, we don't want to pay. We'd rather go and get Sarr from Strasbourg, which is what we did. You'd think, all right, we didn't do anything in the summer. Maybe we were hoping for Colwill to come back a little bit earlier. Even though that sounds ridiculous because that was a fucking ACL. When have you ever seen someone suffering or get injured or getting an ACL injury, going through surgery and hoping they'll come back sooner? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So then, you don't want to pay too much money to buy players. At the same time, you also don't want to have higher wages. So you're not going to hire someone like Gay or even some experienced center back out there. You don't want to go for those ones. You want to go for 20, 25-year-olds. Oh, no, 20, 21-year-olds. And then people expect me to come on here and call out Liam Rosinho. For what? For what? This man has been doing 1 million press conferences since he came to Chelsea. That's a distraction. They're distracting us from the main issue here. The main issue is that our recruitment is shit. Our owners are greedy. That's why we're not competing. You're looking at that back line, right? Okay, fair enough. Rhys James got injured. Not a surprise. Fucking Malo Gusto is sick. Not a surprise. You're looking at the rest of the players. You've got Sa, Chalobah. What the fuck am I supposed to do with those players? You've got the 19-year-old Jero Heto. You want him. You expect Jero Heto to go against Kvaratskhelia. You're expecting Sa to go against Kvaratskhelia. Like, are you nuts? Chalobah and Heto as centre backs, you're expecting them to go against Bakola, Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia. Don't even get me mention about the midfield. We have good players in our team, but it's just not enough. There are places where we need super strength, experienced. Our owners don't want to have those conversations. And yet, the next thing they're going to do, and I can tell you this because the story is the same. It has been the same. Now, Liam Rosinho will get fired. We go again and get another 30, 40-year-old coach, new on the job, non-experienced. Because that's what we do. We don't actually addressing the problem. Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, Egbali, Todd Bowley, you can fuck off my club. You can fuck off. Liam can stay. And listen, I don't want to come on here and act as if like Liam is my father or my brother. I don't even know this fucking guy. I didn't know Maresca too. I didn't know Pochettino too. I didn't know Tuchel too. I didn't know Graham Potter too. But I know they were never our problems. Maresca, and I think we didn't give Maresca enough props. I'm starting to realize more and more and more and more. I don't miss him. I don't want him to come back. Because again, that's not the issue here. But I think we didn't give Maresca enough props for what he did or managed to do with that team. That team is crap. And don't get me wrong, we have good players. Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, Caicedo. These are good players. Rhys James, when he's fit, these are good players. We do have good players in our team, but the balance is off. We need experienced players. We need experienced center back. We need a goalkeeper. We've been crying for a goalkeeper. I don't know for how long it has been. Since we said we needed a goalkeeper. Since Peter Cech, we've been crying for a good goalkeeper. But now, we go and fucking buy these 20-19-year-olds. That's not on Liam Rosinho. Like, think. Today, it was a good day for the people that went to Stamford Bridge to start protesting in the stands. We have had enough of this ownership. And this is a subject I was avoiding to talk about because at the end of the day, it makes no fucking difference. These guys are always going to do what they're going to do. No matter how much we scream and curse and whatever, they're going to do what they're going to do. But the problem is not the coaches. Is our recruitment. This model does not work. I hear people talking about, oh, but look at Arsenal. Arsenal went 6 years without winning. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal, they stuck with Arteta. Oh, this. The coach is not a problem. When is he going to sink in that the coach is not the problem here? So yeah, see today, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the match. Like there's so many negatives I can talk about, but I'm not going to talk about that today. Nah. Why wasting my time doing the analysis? Analysis. If you know, you know. There's no point of us There's no point of us talking about the game. I don't want to talk about the game. Because the game is the game. It's the story. The story has been written already. And for me to think that we even had a chance coming into this game, because I remember in I think it was like 2021 or 2022, I can't remember, but it was Tuchel's era when we were losing, I think 3-0 against Real Madrid, and then we went there and we actually scored about 3 goals, and then they ended up having to score the other goal to win. I think Rodrigo scored that goal as well, about two of those goals. I think in the last maybe like last 2 minutes of the game. So I thought something similar was going to happen today, but apparently not. Don't concede the first goal. Don't concede at all. But you asking that from a Chelsea team is almost like me going into fucking plane and expect to fly the plane. Nigga, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what button to press. That's almost like me asking Chelsea players to not concede a goal. Makes no sense, right? Makes no sense. Because we know each and every game we're conceding goals. And people wants to keep blaming these coaches? Nah, let's fucking face the music. Let's face the actual problem. The actual problem here is our owners. Yeah, man, listen. I'm done.